The Uplands Podcast with the property expert. If it's happening in Upland, it's the place you want to check first. With your host too stupid to win and thank me later. Bringing the strategy, news, and cool charts with all the data. This is Upland, where the metaverse goes down. Genesis, San Fran, to Rio, and all around. Don't miss a week, you never know what they'll say next. It's the Upland Property Experts, baby, UPX.
What's going on, fellow Uplanders, and welcome to another episode of the Upland Property Experts, episode 180. I'm your host, Too Stupid to Win, and as always, I'm joined by ThankMeLater. How are we doing this evening?
What up?
Got a lot going on. We have, if you haven't paid attention to Twitter, that we blew up all day long, hyping our interview with Smuckuss. He has over 3,000 treasures. He is number 2, sitting behind June. So we'll talk to him about his treasure hunting, his tips, his tricks, where he does all the fun stuff, and we'll take your questions there on that. Upland announced 2 city releases today. Spark Week's going on. We got the Playa del Rey boys here hanging out with us tonight. We'll bring it on, talk about a fun party they're having tomorrow night, and they have these things every Friday. ThankMeLater, thank you so much. I'll thank you now, not later, for volunteering my outdoor decor to the Friday party. So
You're welcome. You ain't doing anything with them anyway.
I'm moving them. I'm hooking it up.
Look, you look like a baby. Did you shave?
I shaved last week.
No one noticed.
I know. I know no one noticed. I shaved last week, but
I mean, to be fair, when I shaved, no one noticed either. So don't feel bad. I think somebody finally did. You sure as hell did.
I don't comment when I
exactly.
Saw that you shaved.
Move on. What are you talking about?
Hey, you're the one that brought up the Hyde Park Ninjas. And then we got a lot of PDR people here in the audience tonight. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy the show.
Did you hear the exciting news about PDR?
That I moved my home address there.
Besides all that other exciting stuff, they're officially members of XNet, the largest, biggest, best node network in Upland.
That's secondary news. I moved my home address there from Alamo Square.
Let's go.
Uh-oh. Somebody hit
Dude,
back.
North Montana. What up, bro?
Wow, there's a name. Lois, how's it going, my friend? Long time.
God.
Yeah.
That's
right.
awesome, man. I haven't seen Lois in forever.
Yeah. And then Spark Week's going on. They have another soccer style AFA spotlight on historic goals. They have a competition going on there. Another landmark challenge, another landmark auctions going on, along with another Rising Stars challenge. A lot to get into tonight. It should be fun. And how much Spark do you think the reigning Spark King bought this week?
Either 150 or 0.
It's either all or nothing with him.
Yeah, like because there's no reason for him to buy like 5 Spark, right? Like
right.
He when he does it, he gets hundreds of it. Or he's like, meh.
All right. But
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Also the 3-for-1 that sold out. Shout out to Jones and June Panoy 57 for taking advantage of those, getting 2 OG anvils and a test tube.
June still needs to get a test tube. I don't think.
Okay. I'll hit him up, let him know. But if you missed out on the 3-for-1, you can still get a 2-for-1 in the US dollars. Go ahead to 615 Indiana Street in San Francisco. Pick yourself up an OG anvil for US dollars and you get one free. And also, most important thing, because most important thing, chokes for charity. There you go.
That's still a thing. That's not happening. There's no chance it's raised any money.
It's raised money.
How much?
Doesn't matter. It raised money.
What percentage did you put in?
None.
Oh, dude. It just got real like thunder and lightning here.
Oh, okay. I've put nothing in yet.
Wow. Well, way to go. Way to help the kids.
I will help the kids. Don't worry about it. We're going to get to that $25,000 and we're going to watch the Ninjas choke you out. You see, you say it's never going to happen. It's going to happen. So if you have not donated, what happens is if we raise $25,000, the money's going to Tap Out Cancer. One of the Hyde Park Ninjas will choke out Thank Me Later in Las Vegas live. It'll be
And
great.
if we reach 50,000, one of the Hyde Park Ninjas will choke out Too Stupid to Win.
Yes, and I'll provide that link also. But since that's just for you, I got a link for myself too.
Much love. What up?
Yeah. All right. And then also, if you enjoy our silliness each and every week, make sure you're liking the videos, subscribing, and leaving us comments of what you like to see in the videos.
Pound that subscribe button like it's meat you're trying to tenderize.
What? All right. Anyway, that got awkward. All right. So we're going to bring on. Oh, did you see they got new London gear?
Oh, no. I never got my Dallas gear.
You never got it or never bought it?
No, I bought. I remember I live streamed buying it.
Oh, did you go to your other residency?
No, it's definitely not there either.
Well, that's messed up.
I know.
Did you get your money back?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe I never placed it. I don't know. I'll have to look at it.
Oh, Jesus.
London gear. I got to check out that London gear, though.
Yeah, so they got the London gear in. I know you're a big support of Upland gear. Right.
Yes. We'll talk. Speaking of gear, we'll talk about gear.
All right. We'll talk about gear in a little bit. I do want to transition and go into the number 2 treasure hunter in Upland with Treasure's Claim. You're going to have a tornado rip your roof off?
Probably.
Okay. We'll be live streaming.
Simone, what up?
Focus.
I'm just interacting with the crowd. You do what you need to do.
All right, got it. So anyway, this individual is ranked number 2 overall with over 3,000 treasures claimed in Upland, and I was excited to get the opportunity to bring him on the show, talk about his treasure hunting experience and his Upland journey. So with no further ado, we'll bring Smuckuss on the show.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, how we doing?
Good. Thanks for having me. This is exciting to be on, to say the least. First podcast with Upland that I've been on. I also want to throw out there, you keep saying I'm number 2 all time. That has a lot to do with longevity and consistency. I'm not hitting it maybe as densely as hard as some of these new players are. You see some of those daily numbers. It's incredible. I mean, I don't know how people are hunting as much as they are these days.
Cheaters. That's how.
I mean, it's longevity to get 3,000 treasures and beat other players at the times that you are competing. That's impressive. And that's what we're here on the UpX podcast. We are going on 3 years. Every Thursday night, you can count on us.
Well, thanks again. I'm ready to talk about.
You're a bot.
Talk about treasure hunting. What's that about a bot?
Chat's claiming that you're a bot. They don't believe you.
Oh man, yeah. Well, here I am talking about it.
Russell's trolling.
Yeah, well, Russell. I mean, yeah, him and I have known each other for a while on Upland, so he's given me a lot of crap over the years with hunting. He's an avid hunter himself, as you know.
Okay, Smuckuss, aka ChatGPT-4.
So when did you get into Upland and how?
Yeah, it was probably about spring 2021. I don't remember the exact month, but I do remember it was right around the Brooklyn release. I think Brooklyn had just been released. I mean, I didn't know anything about Upland at that point. I saw an ad on Brave browser, which I think I'm probably not the only one that has come in that way, but saw the ad and figured, hey, let's check it out. I was starting to dabble in blockchain gaming and figured why not. Had the $5 promo, I think it was, or 5,000 UpX. I don't know if they're still doing that, but yeah, I mean, it was very slow at the beginning. I wish I maybe put a little in early with a lot of those early New York and San Francisco properties, but I was just getting my feet wet at the time.
And what city do you call home?
I mean,
Upland.
Like resident address or where I spend the most time?
Resident address. Where's
officially home? My resident address is in Portage Park in Chicago. I've been one of the OG members of the Portage Park neighborhood. And it's always been a good community to me, a lot of friendly people. And so that's where my official address is. But I would say I spend most of my time in San Francisco. That would be my original web. That's where if I do standard hunting, it would be in San Francisco. I'm not there as much now because they've been rotating all the treasure hunting cities. I typically follow tier 1 wherever it goes. But San Francisco is typically my favorite and my original.
Now, have you built a nice enough net in all the other tier 1s, or do you use Russell's strategy of you don't need that many properties and you don't have to own a property, just go hunt?
Yeah, I mean, well, if you're doing competitive, it doesn't matter, right? I think for standard hunting, yes, you want a web, right? You want to minimize the use of send fees. But for competitive hunting, I don't worry so much about that. Manhattan, I have maybe single-digit properties. It's been fun on the Manhattan cycles to go and get to know it better. What I do like, I would say, for cities I'm not as dense is to have the border or corner properties, maybe, so I can identify when I'm zooming out, zooming in quickly, where those edges are. Manhattan's not so much an issue. It's an island, right? So I don't have to worry as much about that. The borders of Manhattan without stressing about it. But if you jump into Brooklyn or Queens, where those borders are not obvious, that can get a little challenging, right? So yeah, I mean, for competitive, it's not about the properties. Usually my first send is to my property, almost all the time. And then from there, it just depends on the arrow.
All right. Now, if San Francisco was wiped off the map and you couldn't treasure hunt there anymore, what is your new treasure hunting home?
Well, I guess it depends on investment. My best secondary foundations would probably be Queens and then LA and Chicago. Standard hunting in LA is much more expensive. It's huge. It's very spread out. But I have a decent net there. In Chicago, same thing. It's just very big. Queens, a bit smaller, a little easier to work with, and cheaper. Well, I mean, I guess cheaper to get a full net versus the larger cities. So I would say those 3 would be my backups.
Okay. And are you a mobile device hunter or do you do desktop?
Mobile, 100%. I mean, I've tried desktop a couple times and it was a disaster. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I've seen videos of people doing it and stuff, and you're moving your mouse around and clicking and dragging, and I don't know how they do it that quickly. So I mean, I go mobile. I've just always done the same thing, and I understand that there's some technical advantages with desktop if you've got there's certain tools or things you can turn on or off or whatever. I mean, I've heard that chatter a lot on Discord, but I'm not aware specifically of how advantageous those are. But hey, there are a lot of PC hunters that do a really good job, and there are a lot of mobile hunters too. I mean, I'm certainly not the only one.
So are you an Android or Apple hunter?
Apple.
Apple?
Yeah.
Phone or tablet or both?
Phone. I don't own a tablet.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. There's a good story for that. So I previously was on. I started hunting. I think I was on a 7. I was pretty fun when I first started in 2021, and then I upgraded to an 11. I recently upgraded to a 14. The size difference from the 11 to the 14 completely threw me out of whack. Just the way you hold the phone in your hand, slightly bigger.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you wouldn't think it would make that much of a difference, but it was challenging to hold the phone in one hand and get used to the zooming with those few fingers that I use. That change I had to adjust to it. It was a legitimate challenge. I mean, I adapted and it was fine, but like if I'm laying down, it is difficult for me to hunt quickly because of gravity and the phone.
You're going to drop the
pulling
phone
out of
on
my
your
hand.
face.
Yeah, exactly. Where previously it wasn't as much of an issue. So like little things like that, you notice that make a difference. That really do.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, just one more quick story. I went camping a couple of weeks ago and I sliced my thumb. And for the next week, my thumb was bandaged up. I could not hunt how I normally hunt. And normally I use my right thumb and I couldn't use it at all. So I was trying to use like pointer and middle finger. And I mean, I did not do nearly as well, but again, one of those things you just don't think about, and it's like, oh well, now I can't hunt.
Yeah.
But it's a little better. It's better now. Yeah.
How many hours a day do you spend hunting? What's your typical day when are you doing the standards? You just waiting for the other challenges to come up, the different tiers of the competitive? What's your strategy each day?
Yeah. Well, I don't really standard hunt that much these days. I mean, I used to back in the day, but I just kind of lost a lot of interest in it. And at the time as well. I mean, I work during the day, during the week. So, I can't be sitting there grinding standards all day. And then on the weekends, I've got my family. I'm not home a lot. I'm busy. So, that's why mobile has always been good for me, because I can hunt if I'm on the go, or if I'm traveling for work, or if I'm just out and about, and it's like, oh, hey, there's a hunt coming up. Let's hit it. But for standards, once in a while I'll get the urge to, and I'll knock out 5 or so standards in a row. But I couldn't tell you how many times I've started a standard and then forgot to finish it because I was waiting for a drift and got distracted by something else, and then just wasted the activation fee. So it's just, standards have not been for me, for my focus and the time. I just don't have the time to really, or desire to really grind it out. And I would also say part of that has to do with the drop in value of Spark. I mean, early on, Spark was more enticing, and oh, we should grind it out. Let's get that Spark. But now Spark is so easy to come by. I don't know. It's not worth my time these days until they, make some changes.
What kind of changes would you like them to make?
That's a great question. I mean, I know they've talked a lot about manufacturing and using Spark for that. I don't know. I'm not involved in any manufacturing things, so I'm not sure how that's happening yet, or if it's happening. But I feel like that could help the Spark market in general. But outside of that, I don't know. I mean, you have to really grow the user base to grow the value of Spark, I think, because there's a lot of players who have already built whatever they want to build, and they're just kind of seeing what they can throw around or rent out. And it's just not a competitive market for rentals right now, as it was early on. Supply and demand, right? I mean, there's just not a lot of use case for it at this point.
Hopefully sooner or later they do have the ability where you can, help out people in the factories and donate your Spark, be like a work, that's kind of like a job, and you donate your Spark.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Absolutely. I think using it as workers, as resource, and I mean, I don't know how else you use it unless you can only use it for yourself, or use it to build somebody else's property. It's very minimalistic right now. And again, there's a lot of potential, and we know they've got a lot of ideas. So hopefully some of that is realized, and we get more use of it, because people are accumulating Spark. I mean, early on, I know I was one of the top Spark holders early on when I was hitting around 30, and then I just didn't grind at all. I didn't care to. But there are people that are like 50, 60 plus because they grind. I mean, I'm assuming that's why. I don't know why else they would have that much, outside of Abdullah, of course. But like, there are guys who are grinding out a lot of Spark, and I don't know why at this point, but hey, it's great. I mean, there's one of the great things about Upland.
I think people need to realize, like, I'm starting to kind of understand, like, Upland is scaling up a couple things. They haven't brought on their own UpX exchange, which they still plan on doing. It's still actually in the interface. And I don't know which is holding which back, but I feel like they want to have the Spark exchange and the manufacturing staking to happen around the same time.
That would make sense. Yeah.
So I think, again, I don't know which of the two things is holding them back from doing that. It also might just be that they need to scale the manufacturing, because right now there's only 8 active manufacturing plants outside of like the promo, or not, like the partnership ones. So once that is significantly more, then, because like right now, I mean, who would even rent the Spark? I think all of the people, I mean, I actually would, because I'm not going to be able to put 25 Spark on my factory when I finally get it over. Jennifer.
Yeah.
Jennifer.
I did just message her today, be like, hey, it's been 2 weeks when I was told 2 days. So anyway,
Pretty common story there.
what is the strangest place? So you travel a lot. What's the strangest place you collected a good treasure while treasure hunting?
Wait, are we talking IRL or are we talking Upland?
Where were you in real life? Strangest place in real
Oh.
life where you were hunting and got a treasure.
Oh, that's a good question. Oh man, I wish I had had a chance to think about that one. I mean, yeah, I travel for work, so I mean, I can be in a lot of different places, but um, shoot, that's a good question. Trying to think how far back I started playing, and then the first, I'd say, year or so was pretty shot because of COVID and not really getting out a whole lot. Um, wow, yeah, I don't know. I mean. I'm sorry. I wish I had a good answer for you there. I will say the number of times I've gotten a treasure while my toddler is hanging off of me or trying to get me to pay attention. And I'm like, hold on a moment, I got to do this hunt. Is more than I can count. I feel a little bad about that, but one of the great things
Don't know
about
that
it
I
is.
would have admitted that on a podcast.
Oh,
But
it's okay. Well, she loves opening the treasures. That's been a fun thing
So
for us.
you're doing it for her, really?
Sure.
Yeah. No, yes, you're doing it for her because she
You better
enjoys
say
opening it. So you're doing it for her.
Yeah, and that's actually been really one fun, interesting thing. She'll be like, treasure. Like, she's 3 now, but like she loves just like popping those treasures. I'll do the pinatas, of course, but the treasures chests and stuff. She loves opening that up. She gets a good excitement out of that. So sometimes she'll just randomly ask me, and then I'll do a standard so I can get one for her to open. But yeah, that makes it fun.
Now, I know some people like strip down their phone to give them every millisecond advantage while they're hunting. Do you do that too? You turn off all the structures, all the borders, everything.
Yeah, everything in game is off. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's how I handle the app generally, not just for hunting. The only time I'll turn 3D objects on when I'm looking to, build a new structure and trying to see where I have structures. But outside of that, I keep everything on. Well, if I'm looking to mint, I'll turn the FSA markers on. But after that, sorry, I just saw Russell's comment after we saw the casino. I'll be in Vegas during Genesis week, so I'm gonna have to do that.
There you go.
There you go. Definitely look us up because we will be there in Vegas.
Yeah. I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so yeah, strip down. Everything in app is off. As far as hardware goes, I don't do anything special with my phone. I know there's and somebody reminded me of this earlier today. There's a motion something you can turn off on your phone. I forget what it's called, but I tried it one time because I saw people talking about it, where I think it like quickly jumps you to your send position. I don't remember what exactly it does, but it just messed me up completely. I could not adjust to it just because I'm used to such a specific process,
So you don't hit the little pawn piece in the bottom left-hand corner?
Yeah, that I use. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that one is pretty common knowledge, but that one helps kind of move your screen along faster, or allows you to click. That's it. It allows you to click on the property and see the arrow right before your block explorer is there. That one is useful. Absolutely. Yeah, that one. I mean, I've been using that for a while. But again, hardware changes or anything like that, I don't have anything. I don't even know where to begin. I assume with PC there are things happening out there that might be a little questionable at times. But I can't.
I think Russell puts his in the freezer.
I feel like I've heard that before. Cool down your phone beforehand or whatever. You know what? I listened to Russell's interview, and I mean, he was saying things I didn't know about. So I mean, there are definitely a lot of.
He was saying things ideas. No one knew about.
Yeah, so that's great.
Some stuff that only happens in Russell's head.
Yeah, I mean, well, I never would claim that I have the perfect process for finding treasures. I mean, I do a pretty good job. I get beat a lot too. I'm not certainly 100% winner or anything. I try to go fast. I have my process. I go quick. Some cities I do better in than others out of familiarity and comfort, I'd say. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like I don't have anything like any special secrets that people don't already know about. At least I don't think so.
Mm,
But
that's
I think
exactly what somebody with secrets
Well,
would do.
yeah, true. I will say though, talking about the treasure rushes for a moment, like I do consistently pretty good on the treasure rushes, which always surprised me. I mean, there are a couple guys that beat me pretty much every time, but I've won a few, and I've usually top 5 or 10. And I mean, my process works well. It seems I move quick, and I think speed is a big part of it. Accuracy, obviously, and luck is a big part of it, but speed definitely. How quickly can you transition from looking at the arrow to scrolling and zooming to clicking and hitting the right button and not misclicking, which happens a lot as well.
now, would you rather start farther away from the treasure
Hmm.
spawn with 7 sends left or in the light red area with 1 send?
I'll take the 7 and far. Yeah, I feel a little more confidence in that than my a close range guess. I tell you, when I have a starting point that is light red or almost light red, I can struggle. I feel like I always overshoot it. That sort of short to mid range starting point kind of messes with me a bit, and it's frustrating because you're like, you are there, you should be able to get that. Oh man, I'm gonna give Russell a hard time after this.
Wait,
But yeah,
who's
I mean,
writing these questions, by the way? A retired high school teacher? Like, okay, let's paint a scenario. You have 7 sends in this area, or you feel like,
yeah.
what? I didn't
I
know
would
we were
take
gonna
the
have to use
7.
word
Yeah.
problems.
For that, me, it's a little bit of the speed aspect of it and a little less of the accuracy aspect. I can do pretty good with arrow distances, but because I'm trying to go fast, sometimes I misinterpret the speed of the flashing of the arrow. Also, I don't know if I'm crazy or if other people have seen this, but I feel like sometimes the first arrow is not what it should be. And maybe I'm moving too fast, but I swear sometimes it looks like it's kind of quick, and then I'll jump halfway across the map, and then now it's slower. And I don't know if I'm just seeing things, but it definitely messes with me.
Hmm.
How many days do you blow through all your allotted sends?
Almost never. Just because I don't hunt a whole lot. Special events, yeah. I mean, it's Spark Week, so if I have some time to hunt a lot, or like when they've done some of these, like the Easter egg hunt, right? I never used to run out of sends, but because cooldowns are so short now too, and there's so many treasures that you can get pretty much simultaneously, it's easier to blow through sends. I will say I'm an advocate for putting the cooldowns back to the way they were, or at least to the point of there being one global cooldown for a treasure tier. I'm cool with the longer cooldowns for rare versus exclusive versus limited. I think those should be differing lengths. I'm cool with that, but like for some reason they just changed it to each city has its own cooldown. I Out of my longevity ego, I don't like it because I don't want to hunt more to keep my numbers up. There are people that want to spend a lot more time on it. They're gonna get twice as many treasures as me. Good for them. That's not the game I'm gonna play, and I got to play my own game. But I just don't have the time for that. And so the cooldown change is a little frustrating for me. And the fact that people can jump from city to city and just keep winning treasures. They claim this is supposed to help more people win treasures, but you're giving the better hunters an opportunity to take away more of those treasures. So for me, I don't agree with that.
What's
I don't.
the average prize on one of those? Do we know?
On what?
On a treasure chest, on one of these competitive ones.
What tier?
Let's say tier 1.
Okay, sorry. So like, are we talking limited treasure, exclusive treasure, rare
Well,
treasure?
anyway, the point, what I was trying to get to is that no, you're fine because those are all valid questions. The point I was trying to get to is, can you imagine how many hunters actually fly though? And flight is a true UpX sync. That flight cost does not get put back in with the players.
Yeah,
So-
true. But if you're basing that motion in a hub like New York, where right now you've got 3 Spark cities and 1 regular treasure city, I think there are people that can take those trains, which are cheaper, Which
Chain,
again, you're right. It's an UpX thing for sure.
train's like 34 UpX or
Right,
something.
right.
Like,
And for the
that's-
good hunters, if you can knock it out in 1 or 2 tries, you're spending minimal UpX, you're winning more, or maybe you're getting Spark in this case. Yeah, for me, I'm not really thinking about those travel fees. I'm trying not to travel around too much just because, again, I'm not trying to play that game so much. But I feel like the people that are doing it, they're probably doing it because they're getting value out of it. Somebody who only has a handful of UpX is not going to be jumping around or is not winning treasures as much, or it's not going to be jumping around because they're going to be wasting their UpX and wasting their sends. For those players, newer players, I mean, personally, I think you should focus on one city first, get better, or maybe a couple, I've seen a lot of people get discouraged with hunting new players, right? I mean, they see the same names over and over again, but we all started somewhere and we all grinded it out and learned. And for me, it was Fresno. I mean, I started in Fresno. It was low send fees. I got to know how to hunt a bit. While also minting properties that Upland kept releasing that were coming from closed accounts, and kind of going through that cycle early on in my Upland experience. And then I shifted to San Francisco, and it was just kind of all San Francisco. I didn't really have anything in New York, so I wasn't traveling. And at the time, I was like, oh, I'm never going to fly. That's so expensive to fly to New York. Now, because I've grown my account, my daily earnings,
big money now.
I don't think about it as much, which is nice. It's a nice problem to have, I guess. But yeah.
Awesome. And what advice would you give to a new player looking to treasure hunt?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of what I just said, I think might hit on that. So I would say focus on a lower tier city first. I guess it depends on your bankroll too, right? I mean, I assume most new players are coming in with, promo money or, a little bit of crypto they're throwing in or whatever. Usually it's a small amount early on. Focus on a lower tier city and just practice, right? I mean, that's how I got there. I just found what works for me. I know there are a lot of hunters that hunt a lot of different ways and it works for them. There's not one way to do it. And I think overall that's the probably the mentality of Upland. There's so many different ways to play Upland. You don't have to care about. I mean, back when I started, it was just we're buying blue squares on a map, and you can treasure hunt, and that was pretty much it. Some special events here and there, but now there's so much more with meta ventures and these events going on, and scavenger hunts and top of city releases and everything else from the developer standpoint that's coming in, the third party. So you can play so many different ways in this game. You can focus just on the NFLPA stuff, right? Or you could just manufacture and design 3D decor, which is really cool. Or you could just treasure hunt. For me, I still mostly play a simple game, a treasure hunt, and I try to trade I mean, I don't do properties as much as I used to, but I mean, I'm still trying to buy and flip and things like that here and there. But the hunting and the community keeps me in more than anything.
Yeah, that's what
binge scrolling TikTok. I don't know about that.
But that's what kept both of us in this game so long, is the community that Upland has. But
yeah, I mean, the Discord's great. If you didn't have Discord, I don't know where you'd be. I mean, I'd probably leave Upland, but with Discord, I mean, outside the general chat of Discord, it gets very toxic, and I am not a big fan of the Gen chat. I kind of skip out of most of that. I'm not usually on there, but there's a lot of servers within the Upland community that I have joined. I've got a tight group of players that I communicate with, and we play the game together and talk real life, and kind of just met through Upland, which is really cool. Just like-minded people. And then you've got like neighborhood communities like Portage Park that I've been in for a long time. And there's a lot of other great communities out there that I'm not a part of. And I think that needs to continue to grow. And if the players are disgruntled, which, well, we often are, the community, at least, and that bond, I think, is what can at least help Upland keep sustaining. I hope there's more growth. Obviously, we all want growth, but it is a place to to communicate and socialize and be online with people who have a similar interest. So for that, I've always really liked it.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Smuckuss. Glad we could make it happen.
Thank you. This was fun.
Is there anything you want to say before we put you backstage for the evening?
I guess one thing I just wanted to like throw out there too. I think a lot of players are coming up with a really cool and unique ideas to play this game, and even in the treasure hunting side. And I just wanted to shout out to Nunchucks for coming up with this Spark Week World Tour that he's doing this week. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that or not, but he had this idea. And I'm sorry, I'm saying he. I don't know if Nunchuck is a he or she, but they ended up had this idea of, instead of just everybody, hunting in whatever city you want to hunt in, to, let's do a series of consecutive cities in a specific order. And I'm sorry, I don't have the specifics of it. He told me about it, and I chose not to opt in because I'm so busy this.
Oh, so it's like, all the treasure hunters, there's like an extra incentive or something
Involved in that, and I think that's a really cool idea, and I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm glad that there's stuff happening like that.
Did he rug or did I?
No, he dropped.
Did I go
for
out?
A second.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
dropped for a second.
I apologize.
I thought I was losing my mind.
I was just ranting about something. It's okay. I'm good.
No, I was curious about this world tour. So he set it up and was like, "Hey, let's go treasure hunting in all these cities." Was there like a prize for the whoever?
I believe there was a prize to it, but it was also a bit of bragging rights as well. But yeah, I mean, he had it all laid out. This is the order of the cities. It wasn't just Spark cities. There's also normal treasure cities, I believe, and the goal was to just kind of marathon through all these different upland cities. And some of this past Spark weeks, I've tried to jump around different cities to change it up too, and I think that was a really cool idea. I couldn't dedicate my time to it over the next few days. But I wanted to shout out to that because I love seeing like the creativity, especially on something that's been so much of the same with treasure hunting, finding a way to change it up.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much. You're welcome to hang out backstage, check out the after show. And it's always awesome hearing different people's styles and techniques of treasure hunting. And, people will definitely learn from it and help improve it and improve that part of the Upland Metaverse. So thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
All right. We'll talk soon. Hopefully see you backstage after the show.
Take it easy.
All right. So now it is time for all right, we got our market update for the week of April 20th, 2023. We'll go through some of the slides quicker than usual. Nothing really over the week to week. Arlington jumped 23% though on their US dollar floor. They hit $8 this week.
Get it.
UPX pretty steady. Did not update those slides. So, all right, looking at the difference from the UPX floor to the US dollar floor. Rutherford's still high at 60% difference. So $20 to buy in US dollar floor and about 50,000 UPX for their UPX floor. Great place to buy in US dollar and sell for UPX. Well, not a great place because the volume is low, but that's where you have your biggest discrepancy. So scratch what I initially said. And then Detroit, Rio, Staten Island, all under 40%, where you're pretty close to your US dollar floor and your UPX floor. Trying to change the screen so everybody can see. There we go. 30-day change, other than Arlington jumping up. That's about the only thing over the last month. So slow, steady, consistent. I think it's okay. Manhattan is under 90,000 for the first time in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
12-week change. Arlington's really killing it. Their UPX floor is up 37%. Their US dollar floor is up 15%. Still, That's just my concern that there's still more of Arlington to be released. Yes, it's a lot of FSA that's being flipped right now that you can get in cheap and you're flipping for profit, but that's where a lot of that comes from. Los Angeles did crack the top 10 and they're still in the top 10. So nice there. 6-month change. UpX is looking good. US dollars looking bad, except for Arlington is up 45%. It's all about Arlington and their hunting node. UpX markup, nothing too crazy there. City floor markup prices, Manhattan, Rutherford, Santa Clara, still sky high. Everybody else dealing pretty well. And the bottom 5 city floors in Upland, Detroit, Rio, Chicago, Buenos, and Queens. Everybody's $3 except for Buenos Aires at $3.25.
So fancy.
Yeah. No real change on the UpX floor other than Buenos Aires at a 7% increase. Going back 6 months, nothing too exciting. The US dollar, Las Vegas dropped down to 32%. Deals. Everybody in the bottom 10 is under 50%. You have 4 cities, Las Vegas, New Orleans, Chicago, and Nashville, under 40% on the US dollar purchase price.
Dude, you had me sitting here thinking I was having a stroke. I was like, why do I hear a train?
Because the trains by my house are really loud. There's a conductor that rolls through here and he just lays on it. Like legit. Like other trains just kind of come and go, but this one dude's just like lays on it.
Yeah, his ex-wife Sandra moved there with her new boyfriend Tom, and he's just like, nah, I'm gonna wreck your night.
Could be true. All right, sold out percentages. Arlington's up 1% to 81%. And Porto is up to 99%.
Why is Dak here? We're just leaving the door open, the riffraff coming in?
Ew. Well, first off, Dak's here because he's going to update us on the first week of the Upland Racing League. And this week, we are sponsoring the Portage Park race in the Upland Racing League.
Oh.
That's why Dak's here.
We should probably have someone from URL come in and talk about that stuff. It sounds pretty important.
Yeah, there's this
You know
guy
what?
now.
I can probably call my dude Dak.
There you go.
All right.
There you
I'll
go.
make some calls maybe after this segment.
Sounds good. Unminted properties, interesting. We got to about 350,000 unminted properties and they announced a city release. So,
yeah, thank you, Jimmy Jester. Tornadoes sound like trains.
That is true.
So I thought I was going to die.
Hey, Sao Paulo only has 18 properties available. Go get it now.
Not
financial advice.
How did they sell 366% of Sao Paulo?
Because they sold 66 properties. Their number is small.
That's not how
the formula's right. Trust me.
The formula can't be right. You can't sell.
No, you're right. You can't. You're right.
I know I'm right.
Or
no, it's whatever. It's whatever 18 divided by
I'll look at the numbers.
84. 18 divided by 84. That's the percent that's left. So actually, I guess it would be whatever. 66 divided by 84. 66 divided by 84 is your percentage.
All right. Now it's time we got through that update pretty quickly. It's time to bring on the fun boys from Playa del Rey. And maybe they'll tell us the proper pronunciation, but I think they have a good time, so I think they call it Playa too.
I mean, unless we're getting one of the boys from Portugal or Brazil, I don't think any of the white boys you invite are going to be able to say it.
Why you always got to put people in their boxes?
I'm not putting anybody in a box. Somebody come on here, roll some R's. Simone will come on and tell you how to say it. That's for damn sure.
All right, but we do have BC for Fun and C. Ellis from the Playa del Rey node right now leading the neighborhood. Or what do they call it? The neighborhood
community ranking.
Yes. Oh,
What's up? What's up?
Dude, you were playing with that during the show. Like you were like, I was like, what is happening in that screen down there? Like, it looked very inappropriate.
Number
I mean-
one, baby. Thanks for letting me out of the cage. I've been waiting. This is awesome, man. Great show, guys. Thank you, Smuckuss, dude. Yeah, it's the opposite of everything I do, man. What he does is great. I'm just standard hunting. I leave all the buildings on. I'm just having fun. And but those are great tips, man. And the stats and everything. Thank you guys, and thank you for having us on the show, Property Xperts. Woo, playa.
Appreciate you having us, fellas.
appreciate you guys coming on. And I mean, you guys got it going on in that little node. I mean, it's not that little. It's a good sized community.
It's
And
They're
1900
the
property.
biggest. Well, I guess technically just because they have the highest ranking doesn't mean they're the biggest, right?
that's correct.
Nobody knows the true formula. I guess we'll clear it up. Playa del Rey is the location, but we do call ourselves Playas. Obviously.
There you go.
No, Kevin gave me a cheat sheet, guys. I'm gonna tackle this playa
I hate
promo.
that Kevin couldn't be here because he was excited about it, but he did do a lot of work, send us some notes of making sure talking points. So prepared us.
I like that. That's a sign of a strong community lead. That's the kind of people you want leading your nodes that are like, whoa, I don't trust either of you two guys.
Here's my cheat sheet. Don't mess it up.
Yeah. Be like, I made this really easy, so do not mess this up.
So
No,
I'm
I got a
intrigued.
cheat sheet. You guys want me to squash it right now?
Oh,
I'll
absolutely.
read the cheat
Crush
sheet because the gringo could do it. Playa is pronounced playa, but who has a property? Everyone that has a property in playa is a playa. And they go in real G residence in our Discord. Playa Pomo is a play on words of Pablo Escobar's famous phrase, plata o plomo. It's Spanish and Brazilian talk Portuguese. You're either with us or you're against us. A little bit. Oh, and then the rest in Spanish. I'm going to stop right there. Or Portuguese, I'm sorry. We have a huge Brazilian community, and Kevin, we have to thank for that. And we have a party with them every Friday night. Our parties get a little wild, you know. We recommend no kids in the room, and it's just awesome. So we're also partners with
Not like that. Not like that.
Praia Bandera. So a shout out to them in Brazil, and they got a great node out there too.
Well, and you just joined XNet, the
Yeah,
greatest node network
XNet.
ever.
That's
I
right.
did drop the badges in our
Number
Oh,
one,
board.
baby.
Yeah, has BC
That's
Fun
nice.
seen? Have you showed anybody the badges?
I dropped them in the text chat. I didn't tag everybody. I wanted to let it be
Oh,
a surprise.
Man, those badges turned out fire. I was so
DC,
happy
did
with
you check them out?
No, not yet, but
them. Dude, you gotta check it out.
I'm gonna check them out. Yeah, and I heard that you guys are having a special on anvils, buy one get one free or half off, and for play promotion, right?
Yes, if you have a home address in Playa del Rey, you get buy one, get one, US dollar or UpX. You get the special because I did move my home address there. These guys have been pretty fun. You know, I always love Alamo Square. And if the whole neighborhood collection came out back in 2020, when our boy China reached out to the Upland team and said, let's do this, we would have crushed it in Alamo Square, but right now a lot of people are inactive. You know, you had some people that are now very active at other
Why are you doing
communities.
it on?
Because it's my show.
In PDR. You're in PDR.
I'm in PDR. I moved today.
You
I went to
take
PDR.
either. You abandoned Alamo Square in our time of need.
Hey,
I'm leaving.
Right
next week.
behind.
Hey, that's right. You're in play, man. And the only Alamo Square I know about is in Texas, right?
You can't buy
That's
props
the
live on air and not move
Yeah.
to one of them. That
But-
beachfront property is calling your name.
I know.
Oh,
my
you
boy
got a beachfront?
Satoshi-
You bought a beachfront?
I did. Satoshi.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like $250, but
Ooh.
it had an apartment on it too, though. It was right.
And it's on the
That's
track.
sweet.
It's on the track and next to Satoshi. I was like, "What up?"
Nice.
Yeah, we have two Upland Racing League tracks, and I believe that one of the other properties you bought too on Zolta, I believe that's on the track too. So
Beast
yeah,
mode.
you're killing it, man. That was beautiful properties you got.
Yeah,
right
well, Dang. Did a build contest with $1 million UpX first prize in play. Nice.
Yeah, it made a lot of progress, big dent in getting some properties built. We added it up. I think it totaled 101 throughout the community. Big numbers. Almo Schumann, I think he ended up building like 30 on his own to come first prize. So
He's a gangster, almost human. Yeah.
Get it.
I started out with 37 properties to build on. I ended with 47, all of them built, and couldn't keep up with them.
So what's up with the giveaway party going on Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific?
So we do this every Friday, and all the players show up, and we donate stuff so we can give away stuff, you know. So we recommend donate if you can, and we just have fun, dude. Our parties get a little crazy, and you got to be there to see it, man.
It doesn't have to be anything big, legits, bees, UpX, whatever. Make games out of it, spin the wheel sometimes. Bullet's favorite game is go find this item in your house. First one back wins this prize.
Oh, I love that.
That's a great one.
So-
It's in Discord?
Yep. We do it in the Discord channel.
We should live stream that. That sounds amazing.
Absolutely.
Mojave's hosting for the first time, filling in for Caven again tomorrow night. So not for the first time, for the first time lately. Caven usually runs them. He's our segue between the communities. So
Nice.
he's a
And these guys all laid it down before I got here. You know, we got SA, Mojave, Bullet, Celis, and we got some big players. That's our leadership, really. You know, the most props, and they're really making the calls. Together we are. And who else did I not mention?
Caven was the last one.
Caven's the leader in our property for sure in our Discord.
Yeah.
And
when LA launched, the first properties I bought was in PDR. I was making a beeline to the water, and I just started making a beeline to the water where I ended up. I started buying across, and then I just bought the 5 properties that I got right there along the coastline. I'm like, got to get to the water, got to buy it. So those were my first LA properties.
Yeah, Mojave brought me in a while back. He said, I found this area. It's sort of bought out, but it's right on the water. We can grab a lot of props. It was mostly minted, but I mean, we were grabbing them up pretty good prices, even if they were already bought, and just started the Discord. I think I got in the Discord. There was less than 200 people. We got over 710 or so now. So, I mean, it's been a steady, strong rise. It's been kind of wild to watch it.
Nice. All right, definitely.
Especially then watching TML drop $250 on a beachfront property.
That's how we do it.
Increase some property value there.
That's right.
All right. What else do you two have before we let you head backstage for the rest of the show? Still a lot to cover this evening.
no
Just make sure you
problem.
come out tomorrow night. Join the fun. Check out the Discord. There's always something going on. So always people in there chatting and talking.
Before you go, BC, what in the hell is your background? It's insanity.
It's fun, man. Oh, I got a fish pond back there, some koi.
Yeah.
And then I just collect stuff. And I spent a lot of time on Zoom during COVID. So I was like, I might as well make it, comfortable.
That's your
and
backyard?
And I smoke cigarettes on my patio. Yeah.
It's your patio. Because is that a decorative fire hydrant or an active fire hydrant?
Oh, my uncle has a sprinkler company, and it's a real fire hydrant. So I grabbed it. And I just grab everything. I'm kind of
I know that it's a real fire hydrant, but it's not because I thought
it's decorative. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't believe you went to the fire hydrant before the stormtrooper.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a stormtrooper, the Rockstar drink sign, the koi bathtub.
Sense. I got weird memorabilia. Like I get that, and hell yeah, Rockstar, drink some energy drinks. The statue of David. I mean, I don't know that I want a dude's junk on my shoulder for every Zoom call, but to each their own. But it was really the fire hydrant that was and then you were saying your whoever's a sprinkler system. I was like, dude, if he hooked it up so that sprinkled your yard from that fire hydrant, that would be insane.
That'd be cool. We got a swimming pool back there too. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
and we're
Quick
getting
fill
ready
up.
for summer. I'm in California, so yeah, it's
Nice.
definitely getting ready. And thanks for having us, man. So, a fun fact I thought was cool was that, we have 1,230 sparks staked in Playa del Rey right now.
Wow.
And it was like that this morning when I checked it, and we still got it. And I've been looking at this numbers, and it's been creeping up because it was started 200 and then 450. It was 450 for a while and just creeping, and it just all happened, all came together beautifully, and the community and everyone in Upland, joining us. We appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah. You two being in Vegas for Genesis Week?
I'm hoping for next year. I got a 19-month-old right now, so
Oh, I get
that's
that.
gonna, yeah.
I get that.
My kids are grown. I don't have any plans, but I think I'll make it.
There you go. Hopefully we can link up there. Hey, fellas, hang out backstage. We'll talk after show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
All right, and let's bring Dak on and get the Upland Racing League update and the Portage Park race going on tomorrow. Dak, how we doing, my friend?
Hey, how's it going?
Great. So tell us about the first week in the Upland Racing League.
It was awesome. Some technical difficulties with the Twitch stream, but Mass Chef, TML, you know him, how he is. He got on it. He went all pro, talked to other streamers, and I think he's got something special. I hope you got your commercial ready.
Yeah, we got to work on that after
I
the
told
show.
him yesterday. I told him.
No, you told me today. You told me today. You said you got a commercial, and I said no, I don't. And you
It
said we'll
was
film
real
one today.
time. It was
So-
real time.
We'll work on that after the show.
All right. And but it was it went well. We're excited. Elijah did his streaming on the Real Note LA theater, special theater, and they had people dancing there and stuff. So that was kind of cool. And so we also were Twitch streaming it on Metaverse Racing News Network, our Twitch channel. And so the idea is, we're starting with URL, but we'll also be moving into like anyone who has a league out there, anyone who's doing racing and they want to get some news information out there, we would be happy to share it and kind of like start doing like newscasts type things.
So like the ESPN of Upland Racing.
And it's not just Upland. The idea is eventually, I wanted to actually expand it into like channels and everything. So imagine Zed Run, Rev Racing, Taco Racing, all that.
Hey, I got a bunch of Zed horses I haven't touched in a very long time, and they're
Really?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
we got
might have to
we got a
talk.
horse. We got a horse named Upland.
We should talk.
All right, sounds good. We got some nice Genesis horses, and we bred some of them. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, definitely. Let's chat. But in terms of results, the way it worked was we had 2 qualifying heats, 5 in each heat. Top 3 made it to the final race. In the first heat, we had Mashef, Bulaman, Matsuda R, Uplord 7, and KO Ninja. And from that qualifier, we had Uplord, Matsuda, and KO Ninja made it to the final. In Heat 2, we had Impasta from the Castle Elite Racing Team. We had Rizey from MV Motorsports. We had SE Kicker from the Hyde Park Ninjas, the Ninja Racing. Up the Dale and Sergeant Loco, 2 independent, but they represent, Up the Dale represents Latinos Unidos, and Sergeant Loco, Sergeant Loco is Latinos Unidos, and Up the Dale is Red Hook. So, a lot of really good kind of groups out there. And from that group, the final, the ones that moved on was Ricey, SC Kicker, and Sergeant Loco. We get to the finals, and in the finals, we had Matsuda R coming in first with a final time of 2:37, and this was on the Genesis loop. Rizey came in second with a finals time of 2:38.250. He also had the fastest time during his qualifying heat at 2:35.140.
Oh, wow.
So he did pretty good. Then Sergeant Loco, our Indy driver, no team representing, but representing Latinos Unidos. He came in third, followed by Uplord, KO Ninja, SE Kicker. So KO Ninja and SE Kicker right there, up the Dale, and then Castle Elite Racing. Brought up the bottom with Matt Chef and Pasta and Buleman coming in, I know, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. But that just makes me more hungry for this week when we race Portage Park. Brought to you by Upix Podcast.
There you go. And this is the bunny track too. It's got a nice little rabbit. It's going to be a fun race. You ever seen
A lot of
Portage Park
turns.
track?
I've raced it when they were doing. Yeah, when they were doing the big kind of race thing, Upland was doing their race thing. They did it all in the Portage Park track. I could not get a good time on that with my 4S. I only have a 4SE. I'm not loaded like TML with his 6 or 7 or 10 S1Rs.
Hey, now.
That's ridiculous.
No. You know what's ridiculous is that they just added a new model year and then reprinted them with a stripe.
Yeah.
No, actually, they look more like IROCs, like IROC Zs. That's what I'm thinking.
Are the stats identical? Somebody posted the stats. I didn't go through them though.
So the stat that I saw was lower than the S1Rs from the original season.
Oh.
But I don't know if that was just an S1 versus an S1R kind of thing. So because I just saw it just said S1 and so I didn't know if the trim was rare.
That's probably the base S1.
Yeah, and so I'm not really sure yet. But someone showed me a picture of them racing. I think it was Matt Chef racing with one of the new S1s. Because I'm like, I've never seen that. And what was interesting about it is it had a Union Jack skin on it. And then they announced London today.
There you go.
Things that make you go,
They need to.
So what time can ever
check on that code because whoever's running that game has preloaded all the models like before that they're ready to mint. Then, because those definitely aren't minted.
Nope.
So what time and where can people catch week 2's race of the Upland Racing League?
So we race Friday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. UTC, 11:30 a.m. PT, and you can catch us on the URL Discord channel. You can catch us on Twitch under MRN, and you can catch us in the Real Note LA Spatial IO Theater. So we're trying to be all over the place.
Nice. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much for the update, Dak. Look forward to the update next week. And
sounds good.
We gotta get some visuals, bro. Talk to me.
I will have. We have a nice tracker that's tracking like all of the positions and everything with their points because this is a full season where people are going to be scoring points. So you'll see your leaderboard and all that.
Cool. Yeah.
Awesome. So, yep, look forward to it next week. Thank you so much, and we'll talk soon. And we'll talk Zed Run here offline.
Sounds good, man. Take care,
Hang out
guys.
backstage if you got time. All right.
All right.
All right. Now, what everybody's been waiting for.
No, we're done.
No, we're not done. We're
no
going
one cares.
on.
No one cares.
No one cares.
No one cares.
London and Birmingham are coming. Another dual city announcement in the Upland Metaverse.
But like, is it dual? I don't know. So I'm gonna probably sound as ignorant as normal. Is this the equivalent of like saying San Francisco and Fresno?
No, I'm very confused on this because I'm like, wow, we're Sweet Home Alabama here, and we're in London, so it's like an international city and it's a U.S. city release at the same time.
No.
No,
I
Birmingham,
don't know
man.
if you're messing with me. I was like, I don't think so. I don't think that's how it's going.
It's not how it's going.
That would be interesting though. I'd be
Like,
like, Birmingham, Alabama, let's go.
no, nope. I just thought it was fun and to see how long it
Yeah,
would like.
you're
And your reaction was great. You just kind of sat there and stared at it for a second.
well, I
So
was just like, crap, is that really what they're doing? You missed 19, like you're 19 days late on that joke, but cool.
yeah, big wheels keep on turning. Sweet Home Alabama. All right. Now, anyway, stress test is going on Wednesday, April 26th at 9 a.m. and the city launches on Thursday, April 27th at 9 a.m. Here's the maps if you're watching us on YouTube of the neighborhoods that are going to be released. This is
There's a Hyde Park.
yeah. But
I'm moving to Hyde Park, London.
But this is the first tier 1 city being released in a very long time. And this is just not like lower tier 1, it's 111 across the board with the Upland standings.
Oh yeah, it has to be. It's London. It'll be the same with Paris. It'll be the same. Yeah. Los, ping too stupid. He'll get you the link.
Yeah. Yeah, hit me up, Los. I'll get you. I'll hook you up. But there's only 20,000 properties in London. I think that I get that, the last few cities that
Wait. 20,000 in the first release?
Yeah, on London.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's fine.
You think it's fine?
Yeah.
Why?
What are you talking about? Like
It's London.
They always do. As long as you're not telling me that there's only 20,000 in all of London. If all you're saying is that the initial release is 20,000, Upland needs the headline, London sells out in 37 seconds. Like, you can't do that if you release 200,000 properties. So they're going to release 20. It's going to sell out. There's going to be a fury of activity. They're going to be able to pump all their daily numbers. And then 3 days later, they'll go, oh, hey, here's another 20, 30,000. And they'll just keep doing that until the market is saturated. And there's about 15,000 properties left for mint.
But look, here's my argument. Sao Paulo, 25,000 properties, which was a tier 4 treasure hunter. Buenos Aires, 17,500 initially released, tier 4. Dallas was a 29,000 property release. You still have unminted properties there. It's a tier 3. And Arlington was a tier 4 with 20,000 properties. So you have a bunch of 4,434 where your treasure hunting tiers, your city tiers are lower. And this is a tier 1 treasure hunting, a tier 1 city, and it's international, and you're only going to release 20,000. You got to do more than 20,000 for your first international tier 1 city.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Why? Because it's going to sell out in 37 seconds.
Yes.
Why?
Well, and here's the other thing. I don't think it. All those
you're going to piss off more players.
Time out. All those other cities are cheap. I saw somebody, and I'm sorry because it was a DM on Facebook. And they're like, yeah, I'll probably try to buy like 5 properties in London, and they have 20,000 UpX. You're not going to be able to buy one property in London for 20,000 UpX. Like, the base price on these is going to be huge.
You're going to see LA sticker shock.
Oh, it's going to be way worse than LA sticker shock. It's going to be there. I just hope they don't overcorrect for Manhattan, because this is their second Manhattan, really. Like, in my mind, London and Manhattan, like, they're kind of on the same tier of like mega cities that are important for global purposes. And so if they overcorrect, like, we could be seeing like just very, very expensive properties. That's all.
Well, at that point, you get the neighborhoods that are smaller, more condensed with the lower UpX per up square markup. You still get the sellout, but okay, you sold out Sao Paulo, you sold out Buenos Aires, but now you're gonna come on, do a little more, do a little more volume. You don't want to make the mistakes of Los Angeles where you flooded the market with properties and there's still about 140,000 out there. But for your first international tier 1 city, you kind of have to put more out there. You're gonna upset a lot of players. You're gonna
No, you're not.
attract.
What's
Yes,
gonna
you
upset
are.
what's gonna upset players more is sticker shock. It ain't gonna be the fact that they couldn't mint anything from everything getting minted out. It's gonna be oh, you're not gonna buy hoppers. Like in a normal city, you just buy hoppers. You go, yep, I'm gonna buy this hop, buy hop to get somewhere. You ain't gonna do that in London. It's gonna be stupid expensive. That's my prediction. It's all ones. They're gonna set the bar high. They're gonna say this is the new norm because they're gonna baseline it. What you know what? Bet. Go find out if anybody can tell me what the up square price in Manhattan is secondary right now. Bet that we start seeing that as base prices around there. So whatever the base price is, bet.
I mean, you're still looking. Yeah, St. James.
Oh yeah, it'll still sell out quick. I'm not saying it's not going to sell out quick, but what I'm going to say is that all the people that are complaining, that would complain about how quick it sells out, are going to be the same people that didn't have any UpX to mint it anyway.
You're going to have a lot of expensive property in the St. James and north and south, but you're also going to have some cheap properties, and there's cheap properties there that you can mint.
What's the max price of an FSA property?
I don't think they released it.
Okay, so like I would expect that FSA properties will be minimum 20,000. I don't think you're going to see sub 10,000 properties in London.
Why? There were sub 10,000 property. Look at Harlem and Manhattan.
Manhattan's a terrible example. My whole point is that they're rebaselining Manhattan, a Manhattan style city. So what's the cheapest property in Manhattan now? 40,000? Like that's the cheapest properties. They ain't gonna release 10,000 UpX properties. They're gonna release 20 and 30,000 UpX properties, and those are gonna be the cheap ones. That's how they should do it.
I just think they should have at least doubled the number for their first international tier 1 city.
I think they quadrupled the price. Like I think people are going to get there and go, oh, what did they launch? Man, there was something back in the day and they launched it. And we were like, dude, that's a lot. And now it's like, yeah, no, that's, I think it might have even been Manhattan, because if you remember the jump from San Francisco to Manhattan, that was
sticker shock.
That was sticker shock. And like looking at it in hindsight, like they were way underpriced. They should have been 2 to 3x what they were. And I think Upland realized that, and I think you're gonna see it skyrocket. I think max 18,000. That's fair. Is 2.7 enough to mint a property? Some properties, yes, but not all properties. That's for damn sure.
I mean, there's still a lot of iconic London to be minted, and then you always have the interesting facts of, will they have multi-city collections? If you got a Soho in New York, a Soho in London, or Chelsea in London and Chelsea in New York, so you have those speculations there. There's a lot of fun here, but
I don't think they can do that.
They can do whatever they want. It's their
No,
game.
they can't release collections that aren't on the chain.
Right.
So
I'm talking in the, oh, you're right. They have to put it in ahead of time. That's right.
Yeah, it would have to be on the chain. So they can't retroactively add collections to a city.
That's right.
I mean, the community cities are different. Community collections are different, but they can't do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But
why does London look like a chicken? Fair question. These are the good questions.
Very good questions. That's why you come and tune in each and every week. Why does London look like a chicken? I don't know. I think, yeah, you're going to have people that have sticker shock, but the people that have sticker shock, they should already know. They've been playing Upland for a while. I'm interested in the new player growth that they're advertising, because they're definitely putting this all over all the social media in London, that they're launching on Upland in the metaverse and it's coming in and blah, 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 blah. And people are going to have a bad experience first time around.
Dude, I don't think they're going to have a bad experience. I think Upland's done this enough now. Like, this isn't their first rodeo. This is their bread and butter. Property releases. First of all, they have to nail this. They cannot have technical hiccups. They have to nail it. There's going to be a lot of eyes on this release. I think that they're going to show that they're going to start pricing higher. I'm expecting to see much, much higher prices than we've seen historically, because I think that that's how they're going to manage the next Manhattans. I think that's what they've learned.
All right. Well, everybody, let us know in the comments what you think. Is it enough properties or not enough properties? And let us know your thoughts on that too. And let us know what your thoughts on pricing. I think we'll see Los Angeles style, Manhattan style sticker shock, but I think it's going to
and here's why. Russell's hitting on it right there. The thing is, Upland's job, undisputed, to sell more UpX. True?
True.
Okay. What do they make more off of? Minting a property for 100,000 that then sells for 500,000, or having the property mint for 300,000 or 400,000 to then sell for 500,000. Which one of those two scenarios does Upland make more? Does the value of UpX increase more?
Can't argue that.
Yeah. So again, they've been saying they need an UpX sink. The biggest UpX sinks is minting properties. That's the best way to start siphoning money out of the pools. And a massively priced London gets that job done. It gets new players in a mentality that that's the price of a property in one of those cities. So when they look at Manhattan, they don't think it's crazy. And by the way, you know what else is a really nice city that also has an L in its name that people might go look at? Is LA. And then they might go, wait, I could buy one property in London or 5 in LA. Hell yeah, I'm going to go to LA. Either way, they're driving up the UpX usage. That's the play.
That's the play. All right. Let us know in the comments what you think. I think you've heard our stances.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
London will be successful. Yes, London will be successful.
Oh, absolutely.
Why'd you take us off the stream?
Oh, I was just doing that for the map. I'll put us back on. There we go. We're back.
I mean, Russell says that I'm right. So how'd you do it before? Is it the custom layout?
Yep. All right. That's not a custom. That was just a standard layer. TML is right. Oh, now you want to listen to Russell.
I've always listened to Russell. He's a genius.
Let me get my boots. It's getting kind of deep. All right. Anyway, we have another landmark up for auction. Basically, they want about 9.2 billion UpX. It's going to be a reverse style auction.
Ooh.
And it goes on. Registrations open now, ends on April 21st at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And it's a great marina. It's fun.
Any speculation on future usability of the marina?
That's the interesting thing. As I was reading the article about it, I could see a lot of, utility to it in the future if Upland ever brings utility to your properties. But they have, they talked about it being a vibrant hub of activities for sailing, kayaking, water-based activities. They talk about the amount of boats that you can dock there and the events that they host there. And
so they just copied and pasted the wiki page.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean,
no, I'm not mad at it. It's just like, okay, it's another one of these. It's another thing for Abdullah to sink his millions of UpX into. Like they literally just have to keep releasing these so that Abdullah's millions and millions and millions of UpX don't just engulf everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a great view too. If you look at the view of what you can see from the marina, but
Yeah, no, it's a gorgeous property. It'll be super interesting. It's just
yeah, I was just thinking about the utility, and hopefully Upland brings utility to properties here sooner than later.
I don't think I said anything bad, did I? You said reverse though? Oh.
Franklin's just trying to troll you. That's all.
Franklin. We haven't had any Franklin. Oh, we had a guest drop of Franklin bomb.
Yeah. Yep.
Correct.
So here you can win an AFA Spotlight video and own the historic goals. They've partnered with the Argentina Football Association. That's what the AFA is, if you don't know. And it allows players to own highlights of Argentina's biggest football moments. They're rare collectibles that are video highlights of key moments in the football history of Argentina. They do have 3 different prize drawings with unique conditions for eligibility. It's a weekly drawing over 4 weeks of drawings, and 1 through 3 taking place each week. Drawing 1 is for new players requiring minting or buying properties in Buenos Aires to enter. The drawings 2 is for players posting an image of their favorite Buenos Aires street view to Twitter and tagging @Upland using the hashtag Upland Argentina. And drawing 3 is for all players requiring minting or buying a property, completing a collection, or using a paid send in Buenos Aires to gain entry for the drawing. And if you're into the football legits and highlights, this is a great opportunity and multiple ways to be entered into drawings and winning. You're not participating, are you?
No, no. In the show or in this contest? Because honestly, neither. I'm too busy reading comments and going. I was about to just tell everybody because I said earlier that Russell is a genius, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to cut it and use it for my show." And I was like, "Wait, guys, if you just want me to say something so you can cut it and use it for your show, as long as you credit UpX Podcast is where you got it, dude. Let's go."
Hey, you actually starred the TML is right comment.
Oh crap! Can you see which comments I star?
Yes, I can.
I thought that was a private setting.
No, that's the channel setting. So
Oh,
all right, Spark Week's going on. You had a chance to buy Spark on Monday. You have the enhanced Spark rewards. That's going on. Great time to move up from Uplander to, just moving your save your upgrades.
Dude, when did Miles join My Chemical Romance? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
Like, doesn't he look like he's about to drop the fiercest emo dubstep ever?
Yes, he's ready.
Get it.
He's ready.
His
and the
eyebrows are on fleek though.
And the
Anyway.
Rising Star Challenge is going on, and they do that once a month. Same thing. You know how it rolls, but just wanted to touch on that.
Mm.
All right, we had a lot going on this episode. We had Smuckuss come on, tell us about treasure hunting. We had Dak give us the updates from the Upland Racing
Are
League.
you recapping the show we literally just did that everybody just spent an hour and a half listening to?
Well, I was going to lead into next week's show.
Oh, okay. Carry on.
No, I'm done. Anyway, next week.
Oh, but then, hey, do you remember we did the numbers? And then we
did do the
talked about
numbers.
there was some of the news. Remember the news? And then there was that Argentinian contest that we said we weren't going to participate in. Do you remember that? Remember? When
Oh,
we
I
did
do.
that?
It was a great time.
It was so funny.
It was so funny. I mean, you should have been there.
If only. If only.
Anyway, next week we're going to have Jacqueline on as our guest. She will be our first female guest.
No, that's incorrect.
Who was our first?
Our girl from Costa Rica.
Oh, Heather. That's right.
Yeah, we had this, we already had this conversation.
I know.
because that
I
upset
keep
Cheese
forgetting.
because Jesus wanted to come on, but she said that you're being a meanie poo poo head. So
Cheese has never contacted me, so I'm not being a meanie poo poo head. I say reach out to me anytime. I'm more than happy to have
Cheese,
Cheese
reach
on the
out to
show.
him.
So
Reach
I'm
out
not
to
being a
him.
poo poo head.
I mean,
And-
you are. Your emoji's your person's literally poop.
My emoji is definitely poop. But either way, we're gonna have Shaq on, and
Oh, I can't wait. I really
we're
like
gonna-
Shaq.
and I got a couple other ideas up my sleeve there, so I'll talk to you about that offline. But
Oh.
stay tuned to the next
we
month
doing
leading up.
magic tricks?
No, we're not doing magic
Oh.
tricks.
You set up your sleeve. What was I supposed to think?
Well, I should have figured that talking with you. Don't forget Chokes for Charity. We need to raise $25,000 to watch TML get choked out by the Hyde Park Ninjas.
No, and then somebody's made the great suggestion. If we do that, we're going to put it all on red and then a double or nothing in Vegas.
There you go. Unfortunately, we don't have access to those funds to do that. So it can't be like Empire Records.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. But anyway, definitely continue to watch what we got going on up to Genesis Week, and let us know what are your favorite segments over the past year so we can make a montage for our year 3 anniversary coming up in June 17th of the podcast.
Oh, you mean like when we were talking about that contest from the Argentinians earlier in this show? Like that kind of stuff?
No.
Oh.
No. All right. Everybody, have fun. Be safe. See you in the metaverse and talk to you next week.
The Upix Podcast with the property expert. If it's happening in Upland, it's the place you want to check first. With your host who's stupid to win and thank me later. Bringing the strategy, news, and cool charts with all the data. This is Upland, where the metaverse goes down. Genesis, San Fran, to Rio, and all around. Don't miss a week, you never know what they'll say next. It's the Upland Property Experts, baby.